While fixing her chest, Biara the alien queen whispered, "Careful. That part's private." The starship's medbay was quiet, humming only with the low throb of the ship's reactor and the soft glow of medical lamps. Captain Elias Kane never imagined that his knight would lead him here, standing over the alien queen of the Lara, her silver hair fanned across the diagnostic table, her regal figure bruised, her golden eyes flickering between defiance and pain. He hadn't planned for this. He had rescued her from an assassination attempt hours earlier. Her royal guard scattered, her enemies relentless. Now she was under his care. Him, a human smuggler turned reluctant hero, trying to mend wounds far beyond his skill. "Don't just stand there," she whispered, her voice low but commanding. "Your hands, help me with this contraption." Kane blinked, confused. Then he saw it, the armored chest brace that wrapped around her torso, designed for both protection and ceremonial display. The blast had damaged it, warping the clasps, digging into her skin. Every breath she took looked painful. "You want me to fix your armor?" Kane asked, shifting uneasily. Her lips curled in the faintest smirk. "Not armor. A queen's ceremonial bra. It holds more than fabric. It holds my dignity. Now help me before I suffocate." He stepped closer, his rough hands hovering with hesitation. The device was intricate, woven with alien metals and fine threads of shimmering energy. It was more intimate than any tool of war. His pulse quickened. She watched him closely, her golden eyes never leaving his. For a moment, he felt less like a rescuer and more like an intruder into something sacred. "Careful," she whispered suddenly, her breath warm, her voice softer than before. "That part's private." The words struck him harder than a plasma round. He swallowed, nodding silently, and carefully began to adjust the bent clasp. His fingers brushed against the soft fabric beneath, and he quickly pulled back, flushing. "You humans," she said with a faint laugh, though it cracked with pain. "So shy in the presence of a queen. Do you think me so fragile?" Kane exhaled slowly, focusing on the task. "I don't think you're fragile. Think you're different. And if I mess this up, you'll probably have my head." "Wise man," she murmured, though her voice carried something more, an undertone of trust she rarely granted. As he worked, silence stretched between them, broken only by the occasional hiss of shifting metal. His hands steadied, moving with precision. She winced once, and his heart lurched. "You risked much tonight," she said, breaking the quiet. "Your ship, your crew, even your life for me." "Why?" Kane hesitated, his fingers tightening a clasp. "Because they would have killed you. And maybe because—" He trailed off, unsure if he should finish. Her gaze narrowed. "Because what?" he sighed. "Because I've seen enough death. Saving you felt like something worth doing." The Queen's expression softened, and for the first time, she looked less like a monarch and more like a woman caught between worlds. The final clasp snapped into place, the brace settling more comfortably across her chest. She drew a deep breath, relief flooding her features. "Well done," she said quietly. Then her hand rose, surprising him. Her fingers, delicate but firm, brushed against his wrist, stopping him from pulling away. "You were gentle. I did not expect that." Kane's throat tightened. "I wasn't about to hurt you." Her lips curved into the faintest smile, though her eyes shimmered with something deeper, an unspoken gratitude, a flicker of vulnerability. "You're not like the others I've met," she whispered. "Not like the mercenaries or the courtiers who bow and plot in the same breath. You looked at me and saw more than a crown." He met her gaze, and for a moment, The galaxy outside the medbay didn't exist. The ship jolted suddenly, alarms flaring. Kane's comm crackled. "Captain, enemy ship on our tail. 2 minutes until impact." Duty rushed back like cold water. Kane pulled his hand away reluctantly. "Stay here. I'll deal with this." But the Queen's grip tightened on his wrist once more. "Elias," she whispered, her voice urgent, raw. "If we survive this, remember tonight. Remember that a queen let her guard down for you." His chest tightened. He gave a short nod, torn between the pull of her words and the danger waiting outside. "I won't forget," he promised. When he stormed into the cockpit minutes later, the Queen's whisper still echoed in his mind. The battle was fierce, the enemy relentless, but Kane fought harder than he ever had. Not just for survival, not just for his crew, but for her. And deep inside, beneath the smoke and fire, he knew something had changed. A fragile bond had formed in the quiet glow of the medbay, in the brush of hands against a ceremonial bra, in the whispered warning that carried more weight than 1,000 decrees. "Careful," she had said. "That part's private." But what neither of them admitted was that the private part wasn't only her body. It was her trust, her heart. And for the first time in years, Kane wondered if perhaps he had found something worth protecting beyond himself. Hours later, when the battle was won and silence returned to the ship, Kane returned to the medbay. The Queen sat upright now, regal even in exhaustion. She looked at him, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "You came back," she said. "Always," he replied. For a moment, no words passed between them. Just the hum of the ship, the weight of survival, and the unspoken truth hanging in the air. That something fragile, something dangerous, had begun between a smuggler and a queen. And in that silence, Kane realized he would guard her secret as fiercely as he guarded her life. Kane lingered in the medbay doorway, watching her. The alien queen's silver hair caught the glow of the medical lights, and though her ceremonial brace now sat properly in place, she seemed less armored than before. "You fought like a man with something to lose," she said, her golden eyes steady on him. "Tell me, was it for your crew, or for me?" The question pierced him. He wanted to deflect, to laugh it off, but the memory of her whisper, her trust, weighed heavier than any shield. "Both," he admitted finally. "But when I thought about failing, I didn't picture my ship. I pictured you." Her lips parted, not in command or mockery, but in quiet surprise. For a queen used to a galaxy of flatterers, his honesty struck differently. Slowly she reached out, her fingers brushing his again, this time without hesitation. "You touched what was private, Captain," she whispered, echoing her earlier words, but now her voice carried a different meaning. "Not just my body, my trust, my heart." Kane's pulse hammered. He wasn't a king, wasn't even a soldier anymore. He was just a man who had stumbled into a queen's war. And yet, in this fragile moment, he knew he had become something more. Her protector, her chosen ally. "I'll keep it safe," he said quietly. Her smile was small, but it softened her regal sharpness. "Then perhaps the galaxy isn't as cruel as I believed." The medbay fell silent again, but this time it wasn't filled with distance. It was filled with possibility. And for the first time in years, Kane believed tomorrow might hold more than just survival. It might hold her.